G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. Just felt like doing another video because I just watched the extended highlights again and just wanted to talk a bit more about a player that I'm really getting more and more impressed by. I mean, there were lots of good performances today. Kinski doing that as a debuting goal, showing a lot of confidence. Berreval, nicking the ball off their keeper, scoring a goal was great. But the player that I'm really kind of enjoying at the moment is Archie Gray. And he's an 18-year-old, he's playing out of position. There's so many things I like about him now. As regular viewers of the channel will know, I hold a lot of stock in what Steve Perryman says. And there's something that Steve says, I've heard him say it in interviews and things like that. One of the important things about playing football is what happens next. What is going to happen next? And that was something that Steve was absolutely fantastic at. And that's what I saw Archie Gray. I've seen him do it several times in games, but he did it exceptionally well today. There were two moves in particular. The one that really comes to mind is he had the ball in sort of a natural position at right centre back, and he could have just passed it or booted it, but he could see there was a player running on the right, and it wasn't like he was dribbling past an opposition player as such, but just moving the ball into space to kind of take him out of the game and give himself a wider angle to plop the ball forward. And for me, that was incredible maturity. He also did the same to get Werner free. Just ran up a couple of paces. Just all it was like 2 steps. I'm not talking about a massive Van der Ven or even Graham Roberts style dribble. Just a couple of paces, just to widen it up a bit, and off it goes. And I think that there's great wisdom in simple sayings in football. There's a lot of over-analysis that goes on these days, especially it's always after a game, isn't it? Because it's very easy to draw lines and circles on a pitch after things has happened and saying, oh well, this is what went on, when no one really knows what's going on inside players' heads. But the simple sayings, I think, simple is not stupid. Simple is not stupid. Simple, in fact, is the opposite. It is very wise. And I'm just amazed how Archie Gray, at the age of 18, has developed this sense of what to do. There was another instance where, it might have been Salah, looked like the ball was going out. Gray was trying to shepherd it out, but then the other guy got a boot on it. Gray had to act quickly, retain possession, and off he went again. Because these things generally, well, in my experience, because I'm a Dumbo, these things this skill of knowing what happens next, this intuitive feel for what you're doing, usually takes years. Or, there's that old saying, 10,000 hours of practice. It's that kind of thing. And anyone can do it, I quite often hear people say, oh, I wish I could play the guitar. Well, all you got to do is buy one and play it, and you'll suck at the beginning, but if you keep doing it, you'll get very good. And there's a lot of parallels for me between music and sport. There really is, especially football, which I think is an endeavour that's full of the freedom of human expression. Whereas if you play with people on instruments, improvising, which is what I like doing, you, without thinking, just know what's going to happen next. You know when they're going to change to a particular note or change the aggression of a piece of music, something like that. I'm not saying, and I'm not saying I'm a superstar at music or anything like that, but I can do it. And friends of mine that I've been playing with a while can do it, and we have a very good feeling with each other. And I think, but that takes time. That's taken me, 45 years of listening to music, let alone playing it. Playing it for a much more limited amount of time, but listening to a lot of music. And Archie Gray is 18, and he's doing stuff like this already, man. It's quite incredible. The other things about Gray I'm really enjoying, which is stuff that is not visible, it's not to be enjoyed, I suppose. It's not like, whoa, even the stuff I'm talking about, it's not like full of flashy tricks and skills. It's just simple stuff to open up play and get play moving forward. But it's his attitude, man. It's his attitude. I don't see him, and I don't think this is just a factor of his age. I don't think this is because he's a wallflower or anything like that. I just think he's got a really bloody good attitude on the pitch. I don't see him gobbing off at the referee or linesman when things go against him. He just accepts it and moves on. And I've seen that in a couple of games where that attitude, we just get on with it. Like if you've been fouled, you can take a free kick quickly, catch the other team on the hop, or if you've got a free kick against you, getting in position quickly so that you're not caught on the hop yourself. I think Gray's been really good at that. So he's been really good at his discipline. Stoic. I'd say it's stoic. He doesn't let the things that don't affect the game get to him, if you know what I mean. How do I explain this? It's probably worth getting the shits or worth getting emotional when there are high stakes, but most things in football are not high stakes, I would say. The best plan of attack is to just get on with it. Just get on with it. And really giving the referee lip is something I've never liked. Alex Ferguson started that, which is why I know he's won everything, but for me, not one of the greatest managers going. I think, did a lot to sort of knacker football a little bit. I don't know. I'm a bit sour grapes. He's a Man United manager. But you contrast him to the likes of like Bill Nicholson or Brian Clough, who didn't tolerate lip to the referee. And you know what? They build pretty good sides as well. So I don't think it's all about gamesmanship on the pitch. The other thing I like about Gray is I can't remember him, and look, he puts his foot in, he gets done. He doesn't get done past, but he's been he has clashes, but he doesn't make a meal of it. And I really like that in a player, man, because Ange was talking in his press conference today about being the last old man on the stand waving his finger at VAR. And for me, making a meal of a challenge sets exactly the wrong tone, the exactly wrong message to the opposition. It's a sign of weakness. It's because they're pretty good at it. They're pretty good at it when they start rolling around with their faces contorted in pain. For me, I haven't played football much, but I've played other things. And if I have a clash with someone and they get up straight away after I know they've been hurt, I'm thinking, okay, they're pretty hard. And so I used to do it myself. I remember I played one game with cracked ribs. Couldn't breathe unless I was running. Because when you're running, the adrenaline kicks in and you breathe. But when you're standing there, it bloody hurts. But not showing any pain, not showing any weakness to the opposition, I think is a good thing. And there's a few of our players that are doing that. There's some that aren't, like I'd say Maddison makes a meal of things from time to time. But there's a few of our players that they're tough cookies, man. They're tough cookies. Even Johnson today. Look, Johnson wasn't great at doing wingy stuff, and he needs to do a bit more on wrong footing players. But he did put a good couple of challenges in, and when getting done himself, he got done a couple of times himself. Okay, took a moment, but then got on with it. Didn't make a mountain out of a molehill. That, if I'm playing against someone like that, I'd think, oh my Lord, this guy's made of sterner stuff. I mean, I watched the game not so long ago. It was Spurs versus Man United in 1976. The first half, Spurs were down 2-0. We came back to win 3-2. But bloody hell, man, there were missed-time tackles going on all over the place. And I've got to say, a few from our our Saints. They missed, but the other team no waving their hands, no appealing, no nothing. They just got on with it. It was a good, tough game, man. And I think this is something that Ange is bringing to the side, you know, this lack of over-coaching. Now, I'm seeing all sorts of ridiculous things. I've seen, you know, Man City away claiming that Ange Ball didn't win us the game tonight. I mean, they have just got no idea about football. These people, they really don't know about football. You know, none of our chances, none of our either Solanke's offside goal or our goal came from counter-attacks. I don't know what. All they care about is trying to be right, you know, and they tout their coaching expertise. I mean, I did coach for half a season. I've got nothing to show for it. And sorry, that's my championship-winning medal. I left it up here again. I thought I'd give it a bit of sunshine, you know. So obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about, you know. And I hear stupid things like, if you're supporting Ange, then you're a cult member or an Ange sexual. Well, the last sort of people I'd take any credence for that sort of thing would be members that are of a cult. And as far as sexual advice, you know, each to their own. But the thought of anything sexual to do with anyone on Man City away, I don't know, you can keep that one back in a mouldy cupboard, thank you very much. Anyway, I just want to talk mainly about Archie Gray, because I think he's a hell of a find. And anyone that was saying, why did we pay that much money for him? I think he's going to be an absolute bargain. I hope he's here at Tottenham for a long way, because the way he opens up play with stuff so simple. So simple. You don't have to be Glenn Hoddle. You don't have to be Paul Gascoigne, you know. If you've got them up the pitch, they'll take care of that. But to open it out of defence, like Archie Gray's doing at the moment, mark my words, it could be a captain of the future. Seems to have his head screwed on. There's no sign of that really changing any other way. He seems to have a really good football head on his shoulder, seems to be really grounded, and I'm looking forward to his next performance. But like I say, Bergvall, there were lots of great young players today, you know. Bergvall, Spence, taking care of Mo Salah, perfect, you know. And when some of our more senior players come back, they've got a bit of competition, man. They've got a bit of competition. And I think it's going to be a good season for Spurs in the end, you know. We're going to pull one out of the fire. And if we don't this year, we will next year. I like the way we're going. In Ange we trust. Peace and love, man, and come on, you Spurs.